Hey everyone, it's World Film Geek here, and I've interviewed Doreen Brown. In 1972, she took part in a study involving the effects of marijuana. Sadly, to this day, the results were never given. That study is the focus of the film The Marijuana Conspiracy, which comes out today on demand and on digital from Samuel Goldwyn Films. Enjoy the interview.
Okay, hi Albert.
Hi Doreen, how you doing?
I'm very good. How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. I literally just
Good.
finished watching The Marijuana Conspiracy right before the call, and man, that was a crazy movie. And I learned so much from it.
Isn't it crazy?
Yeah, I mean, I learned.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, I loved the story. The story is quite interesting, and man, I mean, this was before my time, but seeing all that happening was just surreal.
Yeah, I know. I watched it a second time. The first time I saw it was a year ago, and I'm telling you, it brought me right back to the times, like politically, socially, culturally. The experiment itself, I got quite emotional watching it again. Like, it really, I thought Craig did a great job. Like, really, because I felt like I was right back there.
Wow,
And that's what it moves for me. Yeah, it moves me, and just everything about that era. Like, everything.
that's awesome.
To me, yeah. Yeah, it just brought me right back.
Who,
Yeah.
which character was the one you were that was based off of you? Because there was a lot of all the characters were great, but I just want to know which one was you basically.
So, um, it's really hard to say. Like, I saw myself in one of the characters, but he, of course, fictionalized these characters as well.
Hmm.
So those stories were not like, and other people I knew in the experiment, I saw bits and pieces of them in different characters as well. And I mean, there was one I related more to that was part, I think, parts of me, but not all of me. So it would be hard to say. I mean, I could say it was Mary, the one with the short, dark hair,
Hmm.
but not all of her story was me. Like, about her family background and that, but that family background she had was someone else that was in there. So it's very hard to say. But the incident where that woman jumped out of the wall box,
Yeah.
I actually did do that. So,
Oh wow.
but that was in a different character. Yeah, I got in big trouble for that one. But yeah.
So basically you were like you're basically the basis for all the characters or most of the characters. It sounds like.
Yeah, like, yeah, I think there are bits and pieces of us in different characters, but we weren't all one character. And Craig told me that before I watched the movie the first time. He did say, don't come in watching thinking, okay, where's me? But, I mean, there were. So, and then the jumping out of the wall box, that was in another character. And I did do that. So, it's hard to say. The motive of Mary going in there
Hmm.
was similar to why I went. I did not go in there to make money. I
Yeah.
went in there to kind of, a 60s term, to find myself. So that's what she did.
Hmm.
It seemed like she lived on the street. I didn't. I worked and supported myself, but for me it was an escape. So again, there were elements of that that were me, but not that full character.
I think that's fascinating that they got to take basically you and put it in these different characters. You rarely get to see that in films, and let alone ones
Yeah,
based on true stories. And I find that really fascinating. And the cast did a tremendous job on this one.
they did. I thought they were great too. Yeah, I
Did
thought they were really good, really believable. It was really good. Yeah,
did
they
you
captured the moment as the experiment went on.
did you get to go on set? Did you get to go on set during the film at all as a consultant of any sorts, or you were just in the background basically?
No, yeah, yeah. I did go to watch the filming
Hmm.
for maybe an hour or two, but that was about it. But Craig did interview me quite extensively when he was just starting to write this movie.
That's interesting. Well, that's really good. I mean, at least he's got the background. At least he knows what he did. I mean, and the character. I mean, not just the ladies, but the guys behind it. Some of them were like they had that moral compass, but some of them were so smarmy and like they didn't
Yeah.
care. They didn't care who they didn't care if anyone got hurt. They just wanted to get their whatever they wanted to
Yeah.
get done. And oh man, I
Right. Yeah. But we didn't know that at the time. Like, we did not know that at the time.
yeah, that's crazy.
Now, after I survived that, after we never got the results, because we were all supposed to get the results, and I thought, oh, okay, there's something up here. And I tried over the years to get the results, and it was like, you're stonewalled. It was like it never even existed. What are you talking about? And that's when I thought, okay, a lot went on. I still think it was politically motivated. That, like, the fact that we didn't get those results, to this day, I do believe that. And I told that. I don't know, did you read the Toronto Star article?
You know what? I was just about to read it, and then they called, so I was actually going to take a look at it. But because I found that fascinating.
Yeah, you know what? That was a great article. And that resulted because after all these years, I guess it was still in the back of my mind, I wanted to find out these results, and I did read, I wrote a 2 or 3 page article and sent it off to media, and Diana from Toronto Star called me within maybe 8 or 10 hours and wanted to do the story. So I met with her quite a bit, and hence, she wrote that Toronto Star article, which is great. It was their biggest feature. And then Greg, who did the movie, saw the Toronto Star article about 5 years ago or 6 years ago it came out, and he put it away, thinking at some point in time he was going to do an independent movie about it. So that's how all of that happened.
Wow, that's amazing.
I know. It is, really. Yeah. It is.
That must have been. I
And then,
mean,
sorry?
do you still keep in touch with any of the other people who were involved in this experiment these days?
Just mainly one. I mean, we basically, at least myself, we went our separate ways after.
Mm-hmm.
It was very hard for me to get out of there, as much as I wanted to. But again, with the same 10 women, we were so stoned near the end, we asked them to take it away. And I wanted to get out, but I didn't, because I thought, I got to face reality, I got to find a job, place to live. And it was very hard going back into society after being locked down like that.
Mm-hmm.
Really hard. I couldn't go on the subway for a long time. It was hard for me to be in a group, a group setting.
Mm-hmm.
And, I'm a fairly outgoing social person, but it took me a while. And in the very beginning, I hung out with a few people because I was on the social side. I hung out with a few of them. And then after maybe a month or something, we kind of went our separate ways.
Oh wow. That's
And that's really funny. I think the analogy, we're in a lockdown right now in Ontario.
yeah.
And we were in a lockdown in that experiment. It's kind of funny in a way.
Surreal.
49 years later.
Yeah, that's insane.
That was a real lockdown. Yeah.
I did love the last like minute of the movie where it's fast forward all these years later, they finally legalized it, and the lady just goes, "It's about friggin' time." That
Isn't
was
that funny after all that? Yeah.
I know. Yeah, I know, and
You're true, of course. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm originally from
I
New
thought it was funny.
yeah, and I'm originally from New York. I live in Florida now, but I'm originally from New York, and they just legalized it like a couple weeks ago. So it's just like
I saw that. Yeah.
it's crazy.
You know what? It is crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is crazy. The whole thing. Yeah.
yeah. Basically, I think
The whole experience. is crazy.
yeah, and I think anyone who's like into this kind of who's into the marijuana culture, I think they're gonna want to see this movie. I mean, I feel like this is a very important film to see, even though you guys never got the results. It is a very powerful film. It's very provocative. Just just to see what happened during that, not just with marijuana, but just the fact that you guys were used as guinea pigs at the time, and you know,
yeah,
they didn't
right.
like.
Mhm.
I think it's very important that everyone needs to see this movie.
I think it is too. And even with regards to experiments, they would never do an experiment like that again with those conditions. And, that to me, the 98 days and you're locked in there and there's no contact with anyone at all. To me, I don't know. I think anyone doing an experiment would kind of look at that one thinking, wow. So, yeah.
I just hope. Yeah, I just hope people don't mistake this as a horror movie, because that's what nowadays. If you sell anything like this, that's the first thing that's gonna pop in people's heads.
I hope not.
Yeah, I'm like, and
Yeah.
I will personally make sure that they don't think that. Like, no, this is a true story. This is what happened. It's not a horror movie. It's just what happened during the culture, and
Right.
it fit perfectly. Fits perfectly, like you said, with what it was going on back then, where everything was totally different.
And it was, yeah. And if someone sees it as a horror movie, well, you know what? They've always viewed it that way anyway. I mean, it is. It's based on a true story. It all happened. It's reality. But you will get some of those people, yeah, for sure.
Yep, definitely. So, the Marijuana
Yeah.
Conspiracy will be out on April 20th, and those who love
Yep.
true stories will definitely want to see this, especially because of what happened during then, and seeing these women have to endure 98 days of doing all this without any some sort of reward or anything, just like nothing happened.
Right.
And Doreen, I'm
Yeah.
gonna look. I'm gonna read this article like as soon as we hang up. And man, it's great to see your story come to life in this film in the views of different
It
characters.
really is.
And I hope everyone
For
out
sure
there,
it is.
gets to see this.
Oh, that's great. Oh, that's good.
All right. Well, you.
Well, thanks for your time, too. Okay.
Yep. And you take care, and I
Take
hope you
care
stay
then.
safe.
Okay, take care.
All right. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.